Good evening and welcome to the United Real Therapy people. 3 points. Get in there. Get in there. Villa slapped. Silence. Even though they scored the best goal. What a goal that was. Mundo, talk to me. Talk to me. What kind of half was that? Talk to me about Scott McTominay when he gets pressed and how he can't retain the ball. I mean, I thought we were a better team, slightly the better team in that first half. But we didn't really, the passes weren't coming off. But soon as Scott McTominay gets pressed, they press us, and then we let them press us. That's the crazy thing about it. We let them press us, and then they win the ball back, and then he scores a fantastic goal. I mean, that when people talk about top bins, that was top bins. No keeper saving that. No two keepers.
No chance, mate. That was right in the corner, hit the crossbar. You know what it is? It's those, those goals that kind of hit the corner of the crossbar and the post.
Of course.
You can't get that. That was like an arrow, mate. Top corner. There's nothing the keeper could have done there. But no, you're right about McTominay. That's the problem, because I've noticed the difference when Henderson's in goal. The defenders are more calm when they're on the ball. They pass the ball around well at the back. But the problem is, if you want to progress the ball up the pitch, you need one of your midfielders to drop and pick up the ball and be the pivot and kind of play the ball. But neither McTominay nor Fred are comfortable in that position. I mean, we saw it. I can't remember which game it was where the ball was passed to Fred and then he tried to pass it back and it went short and the other team scored. And McTominay today, I just don't know what the problem with McTominay is I don't know what he is as a midfielder. You know, he's not a defensive midfielder. He's not an out-and-out attacking midfielder. And what we need is somebody who can do one of those jobs. And he can't do either. We need midfielders. In the summer, a few shows back you said that would be your priority. And I've come around to your way of thinking. Absolutely, any money spent on that team, central midfield, because those two, even though Fred today didn't have a bad game, he actually tried to pass through the lines a bit and was mobile, switched the ball quite well, but still,
I mean, I've been saying this for about nearly a year and a half, 2 years, that our midfield, Scott McTominay and Fred, make us play the way we play in terms of, and I understand Ollie because Ollie doesn't have any other options, because Matic was doing that a little bit. There was last season before, Matic maybe had a good games, you know what I mean, where he can do things, but now his legs are gone. He's still got it up here, but his legs are gone. He can't move, he can't shift, he can't play 90 minutes, and he can't play every three games. So the key priority for me are a centre half and a central midfield player and a right winger, because I think the goals will come. I genuinely think the goals will come. If you got a right winger, you'll be able to create for people.
We have a midfielder in our team that can progress the ball. Donny. He's there.
I think
but the problem is that Ollie doesn't trust him defensively.
Yeah.
And with that defense, like Lindelof today, oh my God.
It happened to him. I think that guy who came on in the second half for them, he did it to him exactly the same. And then, thank God. So let's talk about the first. So the first half, defensively, we were all over the place. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. They were pressing us in certain times, high press. And I'm glad that Henderson realized a couple of times and he kicked long. But when they pressed us, they were getting chances. And that's where their chances were coming from. They were not building up the play properly. They were just making chances of our mistakes, of our errors. But second half,
pressing our midfielders. They were not. They were pressed. They weren't really pressing. Other than Watkins, who was like trying to press our defenders, the ball kept breaking down in the midfield. McGinn and Costa or Luis, kept pressing our central midfielders because they're not comfortable on the ball.
Easily,
they just kept losing the ball.
Yeah,
McTominay was number one.
Yeah,
culprit. Yeah, definitely.
I mean, and then the second half, totally different team, totally different Scott McTominay, totally different Fred. And we moved the ball quickly. We shifted the ball quickly. We were getting into gears. And within a space of 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 2-1. And it's just a contrast. We are the official second half FC. We are, honestly. We are the official. I have never known a team to be lackluster in the first half and then to be come back in the second half. Hey, fan, tell me what you thought about that first half, first of all.
I mean, yeah, we are second half FC, but what it was is if you look at it, we never start out fast because we don't have this sort of dynamic press. We don't have a press, you know. And it was clear to see that they've got a press, and obviously any of these bottom teams at the bottom or the shall I say the bottom half of the table, the first thing the rule against Man United is you just press them high, you press them hard, and you got a chance. You know, you might not win, but you've got a chance in the game, and that's what I saw. So it's not like we played badly. It's just that we're still in sort of Serie A sort of style when we play the first half. With Serie A, that's what we play because that's how we move up the ball at that speed. Now, watching it, yeah, I've actually, today, before you said that you're coming on, I thought, let me just watch the other channels and let's see how they view the first goal that we scored, yeah? And what I got was that a few people are saying, well, it was a wonder goal, yeah?
No, the goal that we conceded, you mean?
The goal we conceded, yeah, the goal we conceded. So, and I was looking at it thinking, when I watched it real time, I was like, Lindelof, how the hell can he push off the ball like that? You're weak ass. Now, do you think Ruben Diaz would have got pushed off the ball like that? Any top player wouldn't have. So, but the problem was, you see the mistake by McTominay before that, and then you see also Fred had a chance to sort of get rid of it as well. So, you know, that's the. I know we meander in the first half, but we're just sloppy. We've always got that one mistake in us, and a lot of the time they score. You know, a lot of that lack of concentration or that weakness that we've got, like. Our weakness is our defensive midfield and our defense. They've always got a mistake in them. Sometimes they swap. Sometimes it's the midfield. Sometimes it's defense. So I was watching it and I just thought I was like, oh, you know, I after 35 minutes I was like, why am I watching this crap again? I sort of got a bit frustrated watching them today because, like, look, you know, we're in the Champions League final. I mean, it's a Europa League final. We're relaxed now. We've got a lead on Leicester. They lost. So you think the lack of pressure on the team, you know, you might see some calm flowing football, and plus Pogba's playing further up, so I was sort of happy with that. But then I watched them and think, why does it take till the second half for us to play like a proper team? I don't get it. Now I'm sure Ollie's frustrated as well because I don't blame Ollie for it totally. I think it's also the players as well, but it's a weird one because, you know, let's just say next year we're like this. You know, we can't be a serious team. If we keep conceding first goal, we're never going to be a serious team. If we
play against serious quality,
yeah,
we go 1-0 down. Game over. Game over.
We've won 10 this year, going down one goal. We've won 31 points again by going away. You know, the other one was a draw.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Let me ask you a question then. Is this a freak season then for us in terms of second half of the season? Is this a freak season? Are we going to see this next year or what? Let me ask you the question, both of you.
I have a theory about what's going on with this. It is a freak season, and I have a theory about what's going on, about the two separate halves. I think in the first half, Ollie gives the team clear instructions, but what I keep seeing is players failing to do the basics. There's four people in particular. Maguire, less so lately in fairness to him, but Maguire, Lindelof, McTominay and Fred. Mm-hmm. Whenever we struggle, it's in relation to one or all of those or a combination of those four players. I think that's what happens in the first half. I think in the second, when it comes to half-time and second half, what you see is the big players start to take the game by the scruff of the neck. So I think they say, fuck it, we're not relying on those guys anymore. We're just going to take this game by the scruff of the neck. And you see guys like Bruno Fernandes come out with more intensity, Pogba, Cavani winning on the pitch, Rashford and Greenwood. That's why we win in the second half. Mm-hmm. That's my view, because that's the only rational explanation, because in the second half, you always see those kind of guys like Fernandes and that start to try and get on the ball more, dictate the play more. Mm-hmm. And invariably, it's one of those guys that pull us out of the hole, either by a penalty or some kind of wonder goal, or they score or they do something. Not McTominay and Fred. You don't see them do so. You don't see all of a sudden McTominay or Fred starting to dominate the midfield. You don't see Maguire and Lindelof all of a sudden start playing like dominant centre halves, do you? You see the forwards and the wide players start to, So I suppose it's interesting really, because if we get a proper CDM and a proper centre half, we could be doing bits next season. We could be challenging seriously, because the one thing you can't dismiss this team on is spirit and heart and fight. And we kind of lost that. We lost that over the years since Fergie retired. That never say die, that arrogance, that Man United arrogance. And in fairness to Ollie, yes, we criticise him about his tactics. We criticise him about his substitutions. But he has instilled, you can see it in the team. Note the fact that they've come back 10 times tells you everything you need to know. And I'm seeing ballers like Cavani and Fernandes and Pogba. These guys are warriors. You can see it, the warriors. And that's what we need. And we need a couple more players like that in our team. And we could challenge, seriously. We could be up there. We could challenge.
I think we need 4 players to challenge me personally. I'm not going to go away from that. I think to becoming a good team, a serious team, we need two key positions: centre half and a holding midfield player that can shift the ball, that's press resistant, that's technical enough, that can calm the ball down, can calm it down a little bit, but can play through the lines, just giving it through the lines. I think right wing 100% helps us in a way and more creativity. And I think another striker, if Cavani was injured, Cavani makes a huge difference. I mean, the movement for that goal, oh my gosh. The movement for that goal. I mean, he's literally out there on the left wing. He leaves the left back, the right back, and then comes across the 2 centre halves, and then the glance. But
the timing of the
ball, and it got to be said, the ball from Rashford.
What a ball, yeah.
And that's what I said. The ball, he whipped it in with hardly any backlift like that, and it's just a deft touch. It's just like timing. It is pure technique and timing. And I thought, to me, because at that time, they were really pushing as soon as Maguire went off. And we needed that 3rd goal. Definitely after the 3rd goal, the game was done. But before that, they were really pushing and we were panicking for no reason. Obviously, Bailly has had corona. He's not even been training. He was in Ivory Coast. He's come back and he's lacking sharpness. But it's going to be very interesting because I knew that Maguire wasn't going to play. We can talk about Maguire. We're going to come up to Maguire in a minute. And then we're also going to talk about this season. I mean, we can't say too much yet, but I think Martin Mundo just expanded on certain things about instilling in this belief. My theory is the fact that away, we're so good away because the fans of the other team lifts them. The home support lifts them and they shout over every every free kick. They put much pressure, like home fans put so much pressure on referees. They shout about a throw-in. They'll go crazy at the players and the players then have to be woken up because if they make defensive mistakes, you can hear their fans groaning. I think all of this adds to our percentages. Don't forget, this is elite level sport. Percentages of motivation at certain time, percentages of the crowd getting on top of the home crowd getting on top of the referee not being able to give. It's all of these things that are at work. I think that's what's at work, me personally. That's what's at work, but 100% we can't take away because if they've done it for 3 times, you think, maybe. But they've done it for 10 times. 30-something odd points. We are unbeaten this season away from home. I mean, we've got one more game left at home. I think that's the Fulham. It's a Fulham game. We could go unbeaten the season. But for me, my biggest threat, my biggest worry is to this feel good thing about everything that you said, because I'm feeling the same about instilling this kind of this man management still into this. The players playing for him. So even when we get a really bad result, the second game, the players come in. Every time Ollie's on the brink, the players are there bouncing back. I'm worried that I'm thinking, because of this truncated season of this, like Fergie, you remember Fergie? Fergie used to get every ounce of the players, yeah? He used to squeeze every ounce of effort and blood. Has Ollie done that? And are we really setting ourselves up for next season where Liverpool are going to improve? Liverpool are already buying players. City will go again. Chelsea looked threatening. See what Chelsea did to the second half against City. And City fans, please save me that BS. It was our reserve. You don't have a reserve team. You've got quality off the bench.
Yeah.
Quality. You've got
two good teams. They've got two good teams.
I know what I'm telling you now. City's second team will finish in the top 4. Facts. So don't spare me that. And they had 3 or 4 players missing as well. Their best players, some of their best players this season. Mount was out for them. So I'm just trying to say, has Ollie done that? Because if the Glazers or the owners or whoever and Ollie thinks we don't need to go again, this season we've been that good, then I think that could bite us in the back. Because let's be right, guys. At the beginning of the season, all of us had United finishing 6th, 7th, 5th.
No, we said 5th or 6th, maybe 5th or 6th.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest though. I mean,
you know what? We got sidetracked a little bit. Let's talk about the second. Let's talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was going to say. That's what my point was about to make, is that when I watch this United team, though, I'm sorry to say, but the guy that wins it for us is Pogba. You can talk about Bruno and Cavani all day long, but the composure on the ball that this guy shows, the way he shields it, the way he holds players off, the way he calms us down when we're under pressure. There's nobody that can do that. He is the one super world-class player we got on the team. If we had world-class players with this guy, we'd get even more out of him, right? And that's the thing with this guy. I just watched the guy. I look at him and think, every time I'm like, I was like 1-0, we're losing, like, oh my God. And then I'm watching the second half and I'm seeing Pogba, especially when he's further forward. I mean, his all-round game, his technical ability is exceptional. And like I said, to me, he's sort of like the catalyst. He's a kickstart. I mean, obviously, Bruno's direct and Cavani's the finisher. But let's be honest, in terms of football intelligence, we got number 1, Pogba, and then we got Cavani number 2. Bruno's number 3. In terms of football intelligence, I mean, I love Rashford, but he doesn't have the football intelligence yet. Greenwood's getting it, but like I said, getting that penalty, which the guy didn't need to make the foul, spurred us on, and then a classic Greenwood goal where he shoots before the keeper can even move. Yeah, turn around quick. He dummy wing, sent Mings the wrong way, bang. So we were flying then. We were in total. We were flowing, and that was the Man United that I'd seen against Spurs and a few in that second half, where everyone knows what they're doing, and they sort of they lost a bit of they got a bit of the mojo back. Yeah, so. And then, the third goal was just beautiful. It was just a goal of beauty. Any team would be proud of that goal.
That was definitely icing on the cake.
Would be proud of that goal. That third goal. It was a deadly goal. Were we any top team? So we pulled it out of the back, and then we sort of started to play like the team that we were on form, because we're a form team. We've only lost once in 28 Premier League games. We've lost once. And you look at our ring, we have lost.
We've drawn about 8 or 7.
Yeah, no. Yeah, but remember where we came from. Right? So that's what I'm saying. So look,
it's too many draws for my liking, though. I'm telling you. Sometimes I look draws, and I'm like, I'd rather lose these games than draw.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. That's why.
So let's say 7. I'd rather win 3 or win 4 and draw 3.
Yeah, but
would we draw those games?
We lost 6-1.
Those games.
We're coming from 6-1.
Yeah, would we draw those games if we had an upgrade on McTominay and Fred in midfield? How many of those drawn games have we seen where the midfield's not functioned?
Yeah.
I think West Brom away, Crystal Palace away, awful performances.
Nightmare performances.
And the midfield was diabolical. So upgrade that position, upgrade the defence, and hopefully, you turn some of those draws into wins next season.
Of course. To me, I mean, yeah, let's talk about now what happened in that game. Maguire. Let's talk about Maguire now. Maguire most likely is going to be definitely out for Tuesday, as Ollie said. It looked like a really bad one because it wasn't actually bad, but the player fell on top of him. And as he fell, Agazi. Is it Agazi? He fell on top of him, and then he basically twisted his ankle and his whole leg went underneath him and buckled. So, beginning of the season, obviously, with all that thing that happened in Greece, what happened to him, how much traumatic that was, and the whole team, to be fair, he was lackadaisical. But I'm guessing last 4 or 5 months, his form has improved, I've got to say. Especially in the last 2-3 months, he's got more aggressive, and he's become a key component in the team. If, let's say, he was out for the rest of the season, because obviously he's got the Euros on his head, how much of a huge miss is Maguire now?
Big miss, because we don't have any physicality in the sense. And I mean, Bailly is physical, but not the same as Harry Maguire. And I just don't trust Lindelof. And Bailly's got. I like Bailly, but there's a mistake in him when he hasn't played for a while. You know, he's coming into the business end of the season where he hasn't played for quite a while, and high stake games, pressure. It's not a good time for you to. He needs a run of games by when he comes in as a run of games, then he's class. But that coupled with Lindelof, who's a weakling, it's a tough one. I don't know.
They did exactly the same to him as the guy did. I mean, Torres got a fantastic goal, but the way he got bullied, because he got to the ball first, he got bullied again in the second half, and got Wan-Bissaka, who saw to Watkins, who saw to him and put the block in. I thought second half, I thought he was fantastic, Wan-Bissaka. I thought defensively he was brilliant today. They targeted him a bit, and I thought that he was there with helping him out. But definitely, I agree with Bailly. Bailly needs a consecutive run of games for him to really show his fitness and his confidence. He's a confidence player and a fitness player. But if he's lacking physically, he does these strange tackles, he gets a bit lackadaisical if he's not fully fit. But Irfan, talk to me about Maguire.
I mean, watching it today is kind of weird because a stat came up of all the defenders who've been taken on the least here. And Maguire was in the top 10 defenders in Europe this year. I think I don't know what the guy was called. It was someone, a team I didn't know, who'd never been taken on. No player had taken him on. And I think Maguire had been taken on 10 times. And Upamecano had been taken on over this season maybe only 5 times. He'd only been taken. I think between Upamecano and Maguire, there was people like what's the guy called? What's the Real's captain called again?
Ramos.
Yeah, Ramos. It was Ramos and a few others that were in there. So he was in that league of defenders who sort of you don't lose their ground. You don't take them on. You'd be able to shield you, knock you off the ball. So, I mean, look, let's be honest. He's looked more important to us in the last couple of months, much more. His awareness, everything. And, he's been making less mistakes. He hasn't been so much calamity at Maguire as much as he used to be. Because we used to, really think this guy's a joker. How can he be captain of the team? So he's smartened up a little bit. And we've got so used to him that we need him because he becomes a bad miss for us because, he's the only guy that plays every single game. No one plays every single game. So he's really is a pivotal part of our team. Now, losing him today, I was looking at him and he tried, that's what I mean. You got to give it to him because he still tried to play on, even though he had the injury. He still tried to get back on. So looking at it though, when you think he's gone, then you think, well, okay, how are we going to survive without the guy? Now, to be honest with you, we should be able to survive without this guy. But this is where I have a little problem with Ollie because Tuanzebe's not got anything, no game time, and Bailly's got a little bit here and there. Now, you can't expect guys to give top-class performances when you never played them, And this is on Ollie because all he had to do was take Lindelof off occasionally, last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, give Tuanzebe 15 minutes, give Bailly 15 minutes, just to keep them fresh. And that's all you got to do. That's he's done it pretty well. Ollie this season, squad rotation.
To be honest with you, Santaraf is one of the most coaches or managers is the least place they like to make changes because they always like to have people to have relationships. And especially if it's like you can bring a midfielder on, you can bring a winger on, you can bring a striker on. But to be fair, to change the defense in the middle of a tight game, especially some of the games.
No, I'm talking about when we're winning.
What I think he should have done, I think he should have 100% played him in the League Cup, some of the FA Cup games. You know what I mean? Like like against Istanbul, I think they could have played. Bailly and Tuanzebe could have played. You know what I mean? At home.
But the point is, I still rate Tuanzebe. I still rate him.
Yeah.
Because I saw the game. I still haven't forgot the performance against PSG where he took care of Mbappe. I saw that.
1 minute, fan. Let me just shout. Big up, Mr. Marty Man UFC man. Good morning to all the people in Australia and anywhere else around the world that are watching. Sorry, if I'm going.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So I still rate Tuanzebe, and Bailly is obviously still my favourite. But I know Barry's got one sort of erratic moment in him. I'll say that he's got one in him, you know. So the problem is if Barry had a run of like 5 to 10 games, I'm sure we'd get rid of that. But because he's a bit part guy, like Mundo said, you just don't know with him. You just don't know what he's going to do. And anyone who's watched every single United game like we all have, you know that he's going to do it. He's just going to do it in one game because that's who he is. Because he's a physical guy. He's a very physical guy. That's why I love him. And the fact he's quick and he, like you said, he makes us push up and squeeze the game up top. So that's why I want him. I would rather he played with Maguire more often. But you know, he loves the calmness of his Scandinavian brother. You know, Ollie and Scandinavian connection. That's why he plays him all the time. Look, and that is only a small point because I do get why we like Bailly more, and I do get why he picks him. It's not like it's a really big contentious thing, but we should be able to cope without Maguire. But at the moment, because our players are rusty and game short and game shy, it could be a big problem for us, especially the next like Leicester and then Liverpool. I mean, really, all I care about is getting second if we can and winning that Europa League final. And we need Maguire for the Europa League final at least. We need him for that. Okay.
I don't know. Liverpool. Go on, Mundo.
I was going to say, I mean, you're not going to get a harder test than Vardy and Iheanacho. I mean, Iheanacho's on some crazy form at the moment on Tuesday. So Bailly's coming in to play against those two. And that's pace and trickery. And then you've got Mane and Salah coming on Thursday. So
we're definitely dropping points.
yeah. So that's some test for Bailly. And as you say, he's rusty, he's not played, so is he even going to be able to play 2 games in 48 hours? So what happens then? So that means we've got Lindelof has to play both those games, which is worrying. Bailly might only make one of them. We might have a Swansea with Lindelof centre-half partnership against Liverpool, potentially.
Yeah, Windy, we talked about that. What a ball. If that was De Bruyne delivering that, everybody would have lost their marbles, but it's because it's Rashford. And, some of our fans call him Trashford. I think his assist is up there, his goal is up there. And I thought today he played all right. Today. He looked like his usual self, even though he got a bad kick, actually. And he dropped on his left knee, and he was rubbing it. And he still looked, but he wasn't touching his ankle today. Today he looked like a little bit more rested, Rashford. And he was trying to do things, and he was making lots of unselfish runs off the ball in the second half, 100%.
Yeah, wait,
He's a good player, man. He's a fantastic passer, but he's just to play in the Premier League, you need to have a better strength. And it's not about size, guys. Not to do with size, because he's quite tall, but it's about he needs to get in that gym and just be stronger on the ball. But definitely, I agree with Irfan when he talks about Pogba. The composure to hold the ball, to hold people up in the box, and to tempt guys who think they can get there. And I mean, people moaning and the Villa manager and everybody, that was the clearest penalty. Why are you talking? You can't get more clear a penalty. He goes through the back of him and literally, kicks his hamstrings. I mean, it's super surreal.
But what the thing I noticed about when Pogba plays, the most frustrating, Bruno, the most frustrating thing about Bruno is the fact that he's always got his head down and he always tries that Hollywood pass.
Yeah.
Doesn't take care of the ball.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem to happen when Pogba's in the team. He
doesn't feel the pressure to create. He doesn't feel
he looks after the ball better. It makes him better.
Yeah, but all right. Let me come back at you then, because I was thinking about that, because a lot of people, Man United supporters, I know that they always think of Bruno as sort of the Jesus Christ of Man United. That's the savior. That's what he always talk about, right? Now, every time I watch Bruno, right, and then when I look at Bruno, I always think of Kevin De Bruyne, yeah. And I just look at how many times he gives the ball away compared to Kevin De Bruyne. That just look at that one point there. The guy gives it away. I think 1 in every 2 or 3 passes is given away. Now compare that to Kevin De Bruyne. Just compare it. Now, don't get me wrong. Bruno is completely changed our team. He's pivotal, so important for our team, and I respect the guy because you need a guy to try it. But I just don't understand. I wish you could get better at that pass or that delivery instead of giving it away. I wish you could improve on that.
Yeah, the only difference that, and I'll come back at that, is that Man United play different tactics and a different style of play to Man City. Man City keep control of that midfield, and they've always got a triangle option. There's always an option.
Always
right?
on. It's always on.
And because they overload so much in midfield, De Bruyne finds himself always in space, because when you overload so much and you got people running, he's fantastic. I'm not taking it away from him. But Man United play quickly. Ollie is instructed. The ball go from the midfield holding guys to Bruno, have to be quick because they have to make use of that space and the pace of their forwards. Except when Cavani plays. So that's the only thing I would think about. I'm not so really too hard on Bruno when he gives the ball away. What I'm harsh on Bruno is the fact that sometimes when he's too tired, he's fatigued, he should say to the bench, I'm fatigued, or get some energy things, because he starts being lackadaisical, easy balls. He starts missing easy balls, not the Hollywood balls, easy balls. He doesn't keep the ball as much as composed as I would like him to be, because he's always thinking, you know what, I need to push, I need to do it by myself all the time. And I'm like, no, there's a team. Play. Take that extra ball. Don't have to just keep the ball and taking it off you. Play the one-touch football. Keep that one-touch football. That's what I would say. I think that
we talk about small margins. We talk about small details. Right?
Yeah, of course. But to me, like I said, he's been a brilliant. I mean, he come in with this attitude. A lot of it's about his attitude, the relentlessness to win. You know, in that first half, I've seen him talking and shouting at people and saying, "Come on, you know, speed up the play."
Oh, yeah, he definitely brings everything.
And that's that kind of a leader that you need, 100%.
I agree.
Just imagine having a centre half who's a proper baller, who's passing through the lines to Bruno and Pogba in the final third. Imagine the damage they could do.
Yeah, definitely, man. There's a brilliant protest today. Solidarity with the people of Palestine, always.
Yeah, solidarity with Palestinian brothers,
Yeah, man. Viva Palestina, man. Viva Palestina. Just a shame the rest of the Arab world is cowardly, and the Muslim world are cowards, full of cowards. All they have to do is to stop that oil supplies. That will be
well, they did it in the 70s, Nuruddin. They did, you know.
They can do it again.
These new donkeys, they completely bought off. But their fathers and uncles of the donkeys weren't like that in the 70s. They did switch to oil off. Anyone who knows their history.
But then he got murdered, didn't he? King Faisal, he got assassinated, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got taken out, didn't he?
King Faisal.
He was sidelined. But anyway, get back to the football people. Yeah, Bruno forces to play. He needs to be smarter, knowing to when pass and move. Yeah, 100%. I agree. Saying Colombo says, when Pogba plays more in the middle from the left, supporting Bruno, honestly, we play better. If Bruno is up there on his own, creativity, creativity laps. You know what? He definitely. Shout out Imran, Free Palestine again. Shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to all the people there. There was a massive protest today in Manchester. There's another massive protest planned in Plattfields Park on Saturday. So, yeah, we stand with the Palestinian brothers, sisters, and everybody else who's oppressed around the world, man. We stand with everybody who's oppressed around the world. We stand with the people in Yemen who are getting bombed. Stand with everybody. So human rights, man. We support human rights here, and we don't equivocate. We don't go, we don't like them, so we're not gonna. No, it's all human rights. Anybody who's oppressed, we always will stand with them. So obviously, we've got the next two games Tuesday. Actually, we might as well do the preview now for Leicester, because no point try to do unless something comes up. But I wanted to bring to your attention, did you guys hear about the sponsorship that's been dropped?
Yes, big up to our Man United fans.
I don't know if Air fans heard of this one, but basically there was this a kit sponsor, what they call Hot something.
The Hot Group,
yeah. And they were 200 million sponsorship deal on the shirt. The fans of Man United, a lot of people I know who are behind the campaign, know not a penny more, went to their basically on their websites and told them do not be sponsoring Man United. And also what happened to them is that on where they get rated, they get score points for their products. Man United fans went there and absolutely spammed it and got their ratings to 1.5 stars.
Wow.
So they realized they do not want this. They do not want this. They don't want that smoke. And now
when did this come out? When did this come out? This I missed it.
I was to say yesterday. Yesterday's breaking
Right.
news yesterday. I mean, shout out Chris Mackie, who was basically breaking it on here. Actually, we had a breaking news here, and I was like, I can't confirm this until I see it. And then Jamie Jackson and The Guardian, is the articles there. I mean, it's fantastic. So what we need to do, guys, is we need to get to the hunt. What they call hunt.
The hot group.
Yeah, the hunt group. We need to get on there and get their score up. That's what we need to do. Now that they've listened to the fans. We need to get their product, their reputation back to where it was, or even further. That's what we need. We need to reward the good corporations, punish the ones who are not listening to us, who are doing deals with the Glazer.
And they're a Manchester-based company as well.
Yeah. So the protein, they do protein and different things. I think they do different things, but they do protein shakes and stuff like that. So well done to them. Wow. Big up to everybody. Big up to everybody. I'll say it again. Big up to every one of you guys who've got on there and who have absolutely got their scoreline down to 1.5 stars. And now let's get on there, people. Let's get on there. The hunt group. Get back on there.
Put the link in.
Yeah, no, it's already. It's those of you who follow me on Twitter is on Twitter, and I'll be posting it again tomorrow. But looking ahead, we definitely are going to drop some points, and home is where we struggled this season, and definitely I see Ollie ringing the changes. I think today we saw it. Tuesday, what's the name might play? I think they might play half an hour. Greenwood. But let's talk about Greenwood's goal, guys. Let's talk about Greenwood's goal. I mean, everybody bigs up Mings, but he absolutely, the way he did him there, just on that slight little movement. And then that's his favourite finish. You know, we all know that's his favourite finish. His favourite finish is that corner, low, bottom corner. And I thought he played well. I thought he was playing well today. And he's fantastic. So definitely, I think he might get half an hour. But let's talk about the changes that Ollie can bring. Who do you think is going to play in defence? Obviously, Maguire's out now, so he's definitely going to be Bailly. But are we going to see Bailly into Nzebi against Leicester? Or
it's going to be by Lindelof.
Okay.
It's going to be by Lindelof, yeah. Lindelof's next in the line, then it's Bailly, then it's Nzebi. That's how Ollie thinks, yeah?
Yeah. So they'll be able to play on Tuesday, then Thursday. What game would you rest the players, and what game would you play the better players?
I mean, I would be tempted, just because I want to do Liverpool's legs, stop them qualifying for Champions League. I'd rest everybody against Leicester. Because the other thing as well is Leicester are not going to overtake us now, because their next game after us is Chelsea. They're going to take points off each other. Then they've got Tottenham final game of the season. So they've got 2 tough games. So even if Leicester get a point or beat us at Old Trafford, if it means that we can beat Liverpool, I'd rather drop the points on Tuesday. Obviously, we want to win both games, but a toss-up, I'd rest everybody against Leicester, just so we can stop Liverpool getting Champions League.
Yeah.
I don't know, you see, because let's just say he plays by Lindelof. Who's he gonna rest in midfield?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question.
Matic, you play Donny in there. Matic.
No, yeah, but in the front two though, in front of the defense, it's always going to be Fred or McTominay, or Fred, one of them and someone else. I don't think he'll play. He's got to play. Maybe he'll play Matic on Tuesday then.
I think
Matic
maybe
McTominay.
McTominay and Matic might play, but who else would he play up forward then?
Yeah, but Matic will get bossed by Leicester. He'll get bossed by them.
Do you think would you play Ahmed in one of the games? I know Dan James still injured. I think Dan James was after the Roman game. I think
Play Ahmed against Leicester. Definitely.
What about Elanga?
Again, but wait a second. Why has Ahmed not been getting 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there? Why has he not been? When's the last time we saw him? Was it AC Milan?
Yeah.
It's my old.
No, not AC Milan. We saw him for 10 minutes against. Was it? Where I saw Granada. He came on for a little bit against Granada.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But again, these players, they haven't played time. So how can you expect him to come on against Leicester just like that?
Well, maybe. Because, Leicester have got a couple of injuries now as well, haven't they? At the back, Johnny Evans is out for them. He's been a really rock solid this season for them.
All right, so wait a second. Do you think Pogba's going to play both?
I think Pogba looks shattered in his Ramadan as well.
Yeah.
I think Pogba might play Thursday. because it's Eid on Thursday.
Mm.
It's Eid on Thursday, so he'll have a lot of energy on Thursday. I think he might rest Pogba.
But what about giving all these main guys like half a game against Leicester, and then sort of maybe half against Liverpool? What about doing it that way?
I think Oli would want to beat Liverpool. I genuinely think that.
Yeah, he will. Yeah.
But that's if he goes ahead, because there is another protest plan, people. I don't know, it's all the different fan representative fan groups are all behind it, but I've seen flyers flying all over the place. There might be another protest, so Irfan, I'll be definitely giving you a call. See if we can get.
Are we going to go again? Is it Thursday? Yeah.
Thursday, yeah. I've said to myself, I don't care who organised it. I don't care if it's a man and his dog. I'm gonna go. Say not in my name. Glazer's out. That's one thing I promised the people on this channel. I made a promise to the people. We're going again to shout Glazer's out. What do we want? Glazer's out. When do we want it? Now. I mean, let's talk about it. Obviously, last night I was talking about it, so I've not had your opinions of their letter. The Joe Glazer, Neil Ashton scripted letter about how they're going to listen to the fans, how they're hearing what the fans, and they understand the passion of the fans, and they want to want to fix the infrastructure of Old Trafford, and it's like they literally, honestly, one thing I got to say about them, they absolutely do think we're stupid. They must.
Of course they do. Already, any head of a corporation that is that far removed from ordinary people thinks other people are stupid. They think they got to this high level because they're smarter than everybody else. That's what they think. I told you before that these people are never going to give up Man United. It's going to take something seriously big for them to go. Listen, they've got the biggest cash cow they could dream of in their life. They couldn't even dream what they've got. They know it. They've got the most famous sporting brand in the world in football. They've got the famous one, and it's going to give money forever for this lot. They'll keep this club for 100 years if they can. This is why, like the fact that we got one game cancelled. One game is not enough. You need way more than that to even get these guys to take notice. And it's got to be something that's got to be serious. It can't stop. It can't stop for 6 months to a year. It's got to be 6 months to a year of constant disruption. Otherwise, it's not going to. Nothing's going to happen. They're not. They're just laughing at the moment, thinking, "Oh, don't worry, we'll shut them down. Don't worry. We'll buy a few players. We'll keep them quiet. There's only a few of them that are rowdy. The rest of them don't care." That's what's going to happen.
Well, I genuinely hope that they don't. This is a really good from Canada Devil. It's already too late to rotate, other than the starting 11. So no one else is match fit. I know it's crazy, and I knew this. I knew this will bite us in the back. And this is the other one as well. Samuel says we either rotate and get overrun or rotate and run the place. But that's the thing. We can't really afford to do that, Samuli, yeah. Samuli, because we've got a Europa League final, and we know already the game's not as intense. And my words, Ferroreal will be well rested. They'll be well rested and coming to that Champions League final. And we could hit a burnout. We could hit a burnout, man, honestly. Like even today, I could see Pogba blowing towards the end, the last 10-5 minutes. He's there grabbing his knees, and that's because he's blowing. Obviously, when it's fasting, it's different. To play, I actually play better. Actually, I wonder. I actually play better when I fasted because I like to train or play when. I never played.
Let me just say about fasting though. This is proven fact that, regardless of Ramadan or not, when you fast, what happens to the body? The body reacts to it, and you actually start getting sharper. Your mind becomes way sharper. Try just a 1-day diet of just drinking water. You'll get a headache. The headache will last for a couple of hours, but once the headache's gone, the next day you'll be feeling sharper. I've got friends of mine who do it, and they do it for 1 week at a time. Every couple of months, they do a 1 week fast of just water, and they said it makes them super sharp. So the human body is an amazing thing. It knows how to react to any condition.
Of course, 100%. What else? What other topics do we think to talk about? We talked about Maguire. We talked about the game. We should talk about how we're going to get through these next games, and where do you think what is a good season for us at the moment? What's it looking like? I mean, we could end. I mean, if we win, if we beat Leicester and Liverpool. I mean, I doubt it because it's like one day break between them. and it's 2-day break from now.
These are two very tricky games. These are very tricky.
Very,
games.
very. I mean, they're both going for the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. They're both going for the Champions League. But I know 100% Ollie would not want to lose to Liverpool. I know that. And we do, to be fair, owe Leicester because they've beaten us in the cup, and we drew with them 1-2. Was it 2-2 this season? Even though I thought we played better than them.
Oh yeah, no. Who's it scored against us? It was Ashley Barnes. It was Ashley Barnes scored against us, didn't he? Yeah.
No, you mean it was Vardy? Vardy scored. Yeah, Ashley Barnes and Vardy.
It was Ashley Barnes. Yeah.
He's been a brilliant player, that kid. For them. Yeah, McFred definitely not good enough. Man United world.
But this Leicester team that's coming on Tuesday is stronger.
For me, I think over 70 points. I think we could get over 70 points because we got Wolves. Wolves players always turn into Barcelona when they play us, don't they? They all just start putting in performances when they play Man United. Fulham are already down. They can be dangerous because the players are relaxed because they know that they're down. Obviously, yeah, big up Sam Allardyce. I never get relegated. Sam Allardyce, mate, got relegated today, mate.
The camera was on him, and he was every time the camera switched to him today, you could hear him say the F this, F that. Every time they switched to him, especially when the goals went in.
I didn't watch it.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say I'm the only manager who's not going down yet. Is it that record's gone?
Who was it? Was it him and Tony Pulis? Was it that had that record?
I don't know. I thought it was only him.
No, there was somebody else as well. I'm sure there was somebody else. There was somebody else who always comes to the rescue. And
okay, but the point I was trying to make, and Mundo was saying, is that is second and Europa League win a good season for us? I
think it is because what we expected at the beginning of the season. I think they've done more than beyond, but I'm not going to count my chickens like that at all because I think that game we're favourites, and we already know when we're overwhelmingly favourites. We sometimes
So what if we become fourth? We're in the Champions League now because the West Ham didn't win today. So what if we get fourth? We start losing the last couple of games, and we lose the Europa League. Where does that leave you?
It's a disappointing season for me. Still, that'd be a very disappointing season for me. Very disappointing season. Because to me, I don't celebrate fourth because we know that we'll get knocked out again in the group stage anyway. If the squad doesn't improve, you know, that's why sometimes I think, are we good enough to really play at that level? We proved it for a couple of games. We beat Paris away. We beat Leipzig. And then we went to Istanbul and absolutely fell apart. And that's because we were overwhelmingly favourites. And did we get beat or did we draw? We got beat, didn't we? We got beat. Yeah, we got beat. And one of the strangest goals you'll ever see. That to me typified one of the typifying seasons. Like one of the goals that typified our season was that.
It was the biggest calamity goal against us ever. Yeah. It was the biggest calamity. It was the biggest joke goal against us.
100%.
For me, we have to. It's imperative we win the Europa League, and not because it's a good trophy or we need to win a trophy, but it's just to give the players that kind of
the lift,
take them to the next level. Winning. Yeah, it's like Rooney Ronaldo, that team when we won the Carling Cup in 2006, and that kind of set them up. Then we won 3 leagues in a row, we won Champions League, got to 2 finals in a row. This team needs something, you know. It's like, I think if they win this trophy, it could convince like Pogba to stay, maybe. Yeah. And then, you know, we can see where we go next season, but we need to win a trophy just for that.
Welcome, Chris. Welcome, bro. Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. We went out in the Champions. Yes, we went out in the Champions League group stage, and we were on top of the league and bottled it. So nothing we can do to make, you know. Yeah, you could say that's a bit harsh, but I think regardless, I think a trophy. The players need a trophy just for them to be able to trust each other, to look across each other and go, you know what?
Well,
I mean, we have to think about the season as well. I mean, I keep coming back to that, and this is for all teams, in all levels of sport as well, for all sports, right? This has been one of the weirdest seasons, global pandemic, where high levels elite sport, the pressure to get away and to do relaxing things when you're outside of that sport, to be able to relax is really important, and they will not be able to do that. I mean, Cavani's come to Manchester, and he's not seen anything of Manchester because he has to be in that bubble. He has to be in that bubble, that tight-knit bubble, or else, if he strays away from that, then he could get COVID. Other players can test COVID, and our season's over. So it's really strange season. So I would commend the players, and that's why I'm not being too harsh on too many players. You know what I mean? I can't be too harsh because I've thought about it. Because we've all struggled. All of us have struggled mentally with this lockdown because it's very strange. Very, very strange. The idea that, you know, it's just so dystopian what's happened this season. So it's definitely, when you play an elite level sport, you need to get away from it. You need to have your downtime, relax, get away from it, and to be able to enjoy time. And obviously, these guys have got all the fame and the richness, the riches, and the money and everything. So they do some things to organize, restaurant, party. They do whatever it is to get away from that pressure. And it's been really difficult. But I'm genuinely glad for Greenwood, because at the stage of the season, I thought, is this psychologically affected in the lockdown? Him losing one of his friends, the City youth player that unfortunately took his own life when City released him, which was horrific and harrowing. But I'm glad that now he looks more stronger, he looks fitter, and now he's firing again. So I'm so happy. And
he broke a record.
Greenwood becomes the youngest ever goal scorer at Man United. So Ronaldo, Rooney, and some of the Busby babes even.
Yeah, he's got
the record.
18 goals as a teenager, and he's not.
It's not 20.
It's not 20 till October, I think.
Yeah,
I think he broke Rooney's record, didn't he?
Yeah. He broke Rooney's record. Yeah.
Exactly. And what Rooney was.
The thing is as well, right? If we win this trophy, then it all rests on next season. You can't judge them on this season. It's about next season. Yeah. And can they step up to the plate and challenge for the big ones?
When the fans were back in the stadium.
The fans were back in the stadium. And also, there's certain players who are in last chance saloon. And if you win the trophy this year, and then you're going big next season, and those players don't step up, then I'm talking about people like Martial. He's got to step up next season. Rashford's got to be consistent. He's not young anymore. He's a senior pro at our club now. It's not by age, by number of games played. He needs to step up.
But that's why I definitely think we need a right winger to be able to give him a rest and not to burn him out, Mundo.
Yeah, but Noreen, you really think we're going to buy a right winger?
We need a right winger. To me, the three positions are key. Everybody's talking about Haaland, Kane. They're not going to come to Man United.
We are not
that dream festival. Let's stop that dream about Kane people.
We are definitely getting.
If you're Harry Kane, you're not going to be thinking Man United. You're not thinking that. You're thinking where can they guarantee trophies? And if you're Haaland, you know you're not going to come to Man United because you denied us already. So that's not happening. To me, a midfield, the two key positions are a holding guy, a midfield player, and a centre half. Right winger for me is a bonus, but it's needed because 8 years since Antonio Valencia, we've not had a right winger. And the imbalance, the way we're not balanced, and the way that sometimes we over rely on Rashford and then we burn him out and we expect him to play when he's injured. It's despicable. It's absolutely despicable. And I just don't believe that. At the beginning of the season, I was talking to a couple of friends of mine, died United fans, and they were saying to me, we need to get a right winger. We need a balance because we're so one-sided. Could you imagine Pogba playing on the left-hand side there with Rashford? Because today it happened today. Because Pogba comes inside, Rashford stays that wide, and Shaw got bums on a bit more. Imagine Pogba able to switch it to a space when you take the team, lopside the defense to one side, then be able to switch the ball. I mean, they do that all the time. But Wan-Bissaka is not tricky. He's not a tricky winger. Imagine you got that guy, Rafinha from Leeds, on his left foot there, and he's got that amount of space. He can beat players all day, bend it, you know what I mean, do what he wants with it. And he can also set up goals. So definitely, it don't have to be Sancho. It can be Neto. It can be Rafinha. It doesn't have to be. We don't have to go and get grand things to build the team. This is what I'm saying to you, and this is, to me, shows about where Man United and how these owners just see, guy who's got a following, guy who's already on the adverts with Messi and all these guys. No, it's about what is good for your team. What is good for the team.
My words, man.
Give me 150 million, 160 million, and I'll buy the players. Trust me. And so any of you guys who are watching. Because you know more than Matt Judge, Richard Arnold, and Ed Woodward, and all of this, what's his name, John Murto, that's Muppet, that's been there for 8 years. What is he going to do that he's not done in 8 years? What is he going to do? He's not going to do anything that he's not done in 8 years. We don't see those results. Instead, we slam big contracts on people like Phil Jones and now De Gea as well. Now they're saying De Gea could be leaving. Let's talk about that, people, before we get to the end. We need to keep this to an hour anyway. But let's talk about that. Do you think in his performance that he gave, do you think De Gea has redeemed himself this season? Because I thought without him, I thought we were going to be out. I'm sorry, guys, but I thought we were out.
Well, but I'm not taken by Henderson yet. You know, I don't know why people think he's number one now. Okay, he's just number one at the moment. He's not number one like permanently. Like no one like Pogba in Pogba's position. No one's not even close to him. Henderson is not in that same position in the keeper. To me, I'd keep De Gea, I'd keep Henderson. I'd let them fight it out. I wouldn't get rid of De Gea at all. I wouldn't, because this guy
would get rid of De Gea. You know why I get rid of De Gea? Is if we go to PSG and say, here's De Gea on 20 million or however much, and you give us Marquinhos, mate. We'll take Marquinhos, and you can have De Gea.
How old is Marquinhos though? How old is he?
Was he 27, 28?
He's a brilliant player. He's a brilliant player. But I thought he was older than that.
No, they signed him when he was quite young, didn't they, from Milan?
Yeah. Well, to be honest with you, the reason why I think they're going to get rid of De Gea is the wage to redeem the wage. They're going to get rid of him for that reason. But I wouldn't. I would keep him until Henderson's give us 2 years of serious, level, consistent performance. Then I'd say, okay, maybe then. But I wouldn't get rid of him yet. So it's a shame because, like I said, he proved his mettle against what's it called in Roma in the second leg. He proved that was the David De Gea of old. That was
when it was 2-1. How many saves did he make? 2 fantastic saves when it was 2-1, and we could have been out. I mean that just shows you why make him the highest paid player, and then knowing that you're going to bring Henderson back. I mean, it's just surreal. It's super surreal. Man. Why make him the highest paid player, and then now we're going to get rid of it? Exactly the same with Sanchez. We made him the highest paid player, and then we're giving contracts out right, left, and center. To me, it's not about them not buying players. It's how inadequate they are in recognizing players and then paying them big wages. Then all of a sudden, paying them to go and play for somebody else.
Yeah, but you've said it you said it a million times before. We don't have a structure. That's why. Every big question goes back to the same conclusion. We don't have a structure. These players. They're just commodities. They're totally commodity. In Man United, they commodify the players more than anybody else because they look at shirt sales, they look at social media content. They don't look at the team and what the team needs, and that's because we got no structure.
Exactly. Guys, there's been 35 of you, well, 40 of you in here a minute ago. Please do me a massive favor. If you please enjoy this video, enjoying this content, please. Like, share, subscribe if you're not subscribed. That will help with the algorithms. And obviously everything is about algorithms these days. And it will help with the algorithms. And more people will be able to see this, these videos. And more people will be able to, watch the content and join the therapy army. There we go. Aaron here. Arun joining us late. Availability is sometimes the best ability. Maguire, until today, we're going to miss him. Never thought I'd say Yeah, I'm telling you. There we go. Juve lost to Milan tonight. Yeah, but no chance, man. I don't want Ronaldo back. I'm sorry. No. I'm sorry. That'll be really sad. Ronaldo
anyway, his wages are silly anyway.
Yeah. Ronaldo needs to go to me. I want to keep China now. Ronaldo left us on a high, and I want to keep that high, that memory intact. I definitely want to keep that intact. Ronaldo's not the same player. The best player you can go to LA Galaxy. Or apparently he can also maybe go back to Lisbon, Portuguese football. That would be sweet, wouldn't it? That would be really good, innit? Where he
he could be the star of America, though. He could be the star footballer.
Yeah, he could be. But imagine going back to Sporting Lisbon. You know what I mean? That would be beautiful, bittersweet and beautiful for him. I think it would be.
No, I think he's too much of a superstar for that. I don't think his ego could handle going down back to.
But I'm saying to you, imagine the players. He would inspire the players. He would get the fans crazy. The expectation would be big, And I think he could still play. And they would all just give the whole team will work for him to give him the ball.
I don't think the theatre is big enough for Ronaldo. Ronaldo wants big theatres. He's not a small theatre guy. That little kid is gone. That's how I see it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there are rumours. And I'm a football romantic. Before the money, sometimes is what it means, you know, to be able to go back and say, you know what, I began here, I've done all this, and I will end it here. You know what I mean? Because look at what Ronaldo's already made. How much money? You know what I mean? He doesn't. I don't think Ronaldo needs that much more money, honestly.
No. He doesn't play for money. He plays for winning, and he plays for audiences.
Well, what more important than to get Sporting to win a league next season and to qualify? You know what I mean? They're in a Champions League, so help them out and battle for them in a Champions League. That would be amazing. That would be an absolute amazing. Well, yeah, that's interesting. That is really interesting. Yeah,
I think
there was that allegation that he raped somebody, didn't he? There was rape allegations. It was alleged. He must have said it was alleged that he did some dodgy things with a woman in the hotel. Well, so I don't know. Maybe staying away from that. But Sporting Lisbon, that would be a brilliant thing. I think brilliant for the romantic side of football for him to be able to go back there. But anyway, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. Maybe we'll do something on Monday, but the Leicester game, can we do a preview? We know that the team's going to change. We've already talked about it. We've already done a little preview. We could just said that rest players for that game and then make sure the big guns come back for Liverpool.
I mean, we can afford to lose that game, can't we, Leicester one? We can afford to lose it.
I don't want to lose any game, man. I don't.
I'll take a draw.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it is. But the team news is going to be very interesting. It's going to be one of the most interesting anticipated team news this season. Definitely, I think that's what we'll be, and we'll all be like, "What's going on?" I think we play at 6 o'clock in it, so around 4:30. I think they'll come out. Team news will come out around then on Tuesday afternoon. Will be a very interesting team news to see who's playing. But they might be bottling it as well, so they'll have to come out. They'll have to come out and try to get a win at Old Trafford. I don't know when was the last time they've done that. Leicester won at Old Trafford. I don't remember, to be fair. But anyway, guys, you've all been absolute legends. Please carry on the work that you're doing on social media. Remember, not a penny more. Let's hit all these sponsors. Aeon, the likes of Aeon and everybody else. Let's drive their ratings down to a 1 star or 1.5. And let's go and get onto that, the Hut group. Let's get on their website and please get their scores up. And well done to them for stepping away from the leeches. That's the Glazers. Like I always say, win, lose, or draw, Glazers out. This is the headquarters of the Glazers Out campaign. I've seen a flyer flying around on Twitter. I don't care if it's one man and his dog. I'm there on Thursday. But you've all been legends. Please share, like, subscribe. Let's build this community together. Let's build the army, this therapy army together. And please smack that like button like it's Joe Glazer's face or it's Avram Grant's hair, like you're pulling that pony. Smack that like button like it's Avram Grant's baldy pony. You know what I mean? So thank you so much, and we'll see you hopefully after the Leicester game for the match reaction. Peace, love, light, always. Thank you to Mundo. Thank you to Irfan. Mighty Mundo, where can we find? Yeah, Mighty Mundo on Twitter, and Irfan, we can definitely find him. You can find him on Irfan Rainey. He's the music man, and I can't wait to get out raving and dancing again. Fingers crossed. Those of you in Manchester, you're all welcome to come to community. You know what I mean? Meet and greet, therapy army meet and greet. It'll be a community.
A couple of months though, just a couple of months.
In a couple of months' time, yeah. Of course.
Social distance.
Social distance, mate. You know, that's, crazy. But anyway, guys, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe. Peace, love, light. Viva Palestina, always.